Hello. So today I decided to go live with that, and instead of recording a short, because the theme is not very clear about the feedback that I received about my website and about my message actually that I sent to a small group of people about my new website and about which is my website is basically a message to the world about my services, about me. The idea was to make it as minimalistic as possible and not as explanation but as invitation to my practice, my world. So the feedback is that the whole idea is very confusing. Like people didn't understand at all, nothing. Very confusing. What did you want to achieve? What did you want to tell us? Very ambiguous. And for me, the feedback itself is very ambiguous because they didn't get what I wanted to tell. So they didn't get it, they didn't understand. But I wanted people to understand something they didn't understand. Does that mean that I failed in the message, or I failed in delivering my message, or I failed in delivering the message that shouldn't that they wanted me to deliver, or my message that I wanted to deliver is not welcomed in the format I wanted to deliver. Like the idea that I wanted to make the message as minimalistic as simple as possible is a bad idea at its core. Hi, thank you for coming. I'm discussing my feedback on my well, in the beginning I said it will be my experiment with my website and its minimalistic design, and the idea that it will not be explanation and it's in its core, but invitation. But people didn't get the idea, and I wonder if those people didn't understand my idea, or my idea is wrong in principle. I didn't want to make my website very heavy with explanation what I'm doing, like the services, the prices. I didn't want to make it this way because the services and the prices are very individual, very customizable, and I didn't want to explain in very details. I don't like those sites myself. I don't like to get to the website and it's like a store, a mall or whatever, like a menu sorts of. And I'm a life coach, and I didn't want to give you a menu of dishes or whatever. And I didn't want to explain a framework or program for you because I didn't want to impose the program on a person, like, and made you as a whole person with the whole story of very unique life to fit in a program. It's not fair, I think. And I rather see each person as a whole world, and I rather get invited in your world and work with you as the whole new world for me to understand and to see. So the idea for my website was to invite to my practice, to get this curiosity and interest, and to get more questions not to explain everything. So the initial idea wasn't about clarity, that people come to my website and get clear about everything and like, okay, I understand everything, now I'm clear what she is offering, now I'm clear what I can get from her. No, but I received feedback that it's supposed to be this way, that you get to the website, it's all clear for you what you can get from this coach, and this way you can connect to this coach. I never myself connected to a coach this way. So I don't know where those rules come from. I know that I learned about marketing rules, or rules of how to market your services. Yes, I learned about them. I never saw them working from my perspective. Like, I never bought services from somebody who funnel tunnel, free stuff, freebies, and then cheap product, then more expensive product, then more expensive. Like, I've never done this way of invited me to a more expensive product. I just chose an expensive product and I bought it because all the conditions of that coach were met for me. That's it. Like, I was purposefully looking for a particular coach. That's it. That's my approach. But and I would be happy to work with the same people with the same approach, honestly. So I'm so confused with this feedback. I'm very grateful for this feedback because I sent my invitation to join my mailing list to those people, and I received some feedback. I'm still confused what to do with this feedback. It doesn't feel that thanks, I will follow your feedback because I feel I should change something. But it feels like, yeah, people didn't get, then I have to do something about that. If you think that coaches know everything and they have clarity, no, we have our own confusions. But it's so rewarding when we get other people to their clarities. So rewarding for me myself when I see that my clients get to clarities, their clarity. That's why I'm doing this freaking site, so other people could find me and could use my services for their life improvements. And today I figure out how I can market or call my services execute existential change management. How about that? Hello, what I miss? You missed nothing in particular, but I was talking about the feedback I received on my website. I sent invitation to my website and to join my mailing list to a certain people that close to me, and I received feedback which is not clear to me. Basically, people didn't understand what I was talking about on my website and in my email to them, or my invite to them. So feedback is that I'm not clear in my message. But this phrase, existential change management, how about that for coaching? Because all coaching is about change, and any change is not just intellectual, it's existential. Because why it's so hard sometimes to change anything? Because it requires change of personality, identity, change of surrounding, change of uh, people around, change of so many things, and basically it's change of part of your identity. And identity is something that exists, it's existential change. So that's why we are so slow in changing something. Cocaine, why did you begin it? um, about addictions, I today I saw something very important about why people start addictions, or why it was about screen addictions for children, but maybe you can scale it to other addictions. How to why children start to get addicted to screens, social media, because when they get bored or they become then get to discomfort with their emotions, instead of sitting with that discomfort, parents offer them something entertaining or something to do to cover this discomfort, to something to eat, to play with, to do something to avoid this discomfort, to avoid sitting with this discomfort. So they give something stimulating, rather than just leaving a child with this discomfort. So rather than learning how to deal with emotions, feelings, and discomfort of boredom or hard feelings, a child learns that there should be some stimulation or avoidance of this discomfort. So there are there is food, there is internet or social media, there is something to cover this discomfort, because you cannot deal with it. So maybe it can be scaled to substance addiction, because you cannot deal with the discomfort, you have to. But I guess it's too serious already. If you talk about cocaine, it's already physical addiction. I used to work in detox detox center for youth in Vancouver, downtown Canada, Vancouver, Canada. It was 5 days program, and I think it was social program, like you could come for free, and after 5 days staying in the program, you could be transferred to another program for a longer time. But it was so hard for kids to stay for 5 days because of the withdrawal symptoms. They couldn't stay for 5 days, and I was working as a caregiver, and I saw those physical withdrawal symptoms. It was hard for the kids. Mostly heroin addicts, 12 years old, 13, 14 years old. I saw a pregnant girl still doing heroin, other drugs too. Like it's very many sad stories, foster families stories, kids who didn't have any support around them, and they tried to get away from the addiction, but They tried, but they come back to the same circles, the same circumstances. So it's very hard. There are ways, but it's again it comes to a very strong personal choice. There were kind of couple of success stories there, but couple, like two, maybe one or two cases of success in hundreds. So I was lost as a child to many traumas. Yeah, that's usually the case, and that's why I work with parents as a coach. I believe that we should start with families, with children, the whole society. That's our point of entrance to change everything. If we want peace, if we want less wars, if we want more understanding and kindness, and if we want to decrease all these problems, we need to start with kids. We need to start with mothers. We need to start with families. Not maybe even kids, but mothers. Give mothers space, time for nurture, for safety of interaction with their children. Like give them money to be mothers, give them support to be real mothers, not out of guilt, not out of some you have to be, but out of love and choice. I want to be a mother. I have resources. I have time. I have support. I want to give all my love to this little human being. That's how it's supposed to be. And then this human being, little one, will receive what it's worth of receiving: love, support, attachment, everything that a little child supposed to receive from the very beginning, from the very beginning when a child is inside the mother. um, can you help me to fix those trauma? Any advice? Well, I don't give advice, I'm a coach. But to fix the trauma, um, I would say meet meet your inner child, meet that child that was wounded, and be a parent to your wounded child, that parent that your child missed. It's called reparenting. So whoever you missed in your childhood, be that caregiver that you missed in your childhood. Be it now. Be this adult, be this loving caregiver to your inner child right now. Whatever it might take, but that's how we give ourselves whatever was missed in our childhoods. And it, like, I didn't have heavy trauma in my childhood, but still it's very personal. So I did have some my traumas, but I know that myself right now as an adult, I can give whatever I missed there myself right now. We kind of look similar. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, I cannot see you, but I think I think nobody knows what you missed really. Nobody can give you that thing that you missed. Nobody knows except you. That that's why only you can give something that you missed earlier. That's my take on it. Uh, but if you numb yourself from that realization with substances, how can you give it to yourself? It's avoidance. It might be temporal relief, but then the question is still here to answer. How to get there, how to get to the place where you are in the resourceful state to answer that question. That's another story. How to get there practically. So I'm talking for 20 minutes already, but it was about feedback. And why I wanted to make this live, because it was about sitting with a discomfort about feedback. And actually it's about allowing the space for uncomfortable feelings and unclear in absence of clarity and in the field of uncertainty. And I believe nobody promised us any certainty, and we shouldn't be expecting certainty. And uncertainty and lack of clarity, it's okay, it's a normal state. Certainty is a very temporal state. It's not supposed to be forever. Certainty. What is certainty? It's just a tiny bit of something in the process of change. So we are processes. Everything is temporal. But we are looking for certainty, we are looking for stability, we are looking for something that is not real, I guess. Why? So, I guess I will end this live. I just wanted to share with the field. Maybe I will do live about my cosmology, how I see the world, and why it's so comforting for me sometimes to make those lives and share with people, or like people I don't know. For other people it's so strange that people share through a screen with somebody who they don't know, but for me it's quite safe to do it with all those AI and privacy breaches, and that they gather our personal information, our faces, our voices. But still, I think we still have real people online so far. And it's a connection thing to other expressions of the whole. I believe that each of us is an expression of the whole, and this connection to other people, it makes a safe space. And I don't know, for me it's safe. It feels safe. I never, maybe in the very beginning I felt awkward talking online, but right now it feels safe to share with a hope and expectations maybe that somebody will benefit from it.